Hey guys, MA Fish Guy here, coming at you with a viewer request for a question to be answered. What type of filtration should I use for my aquarium, and what kind is out there? So there's three that are probably your biggest ones that are out there, the most popular. So the first one's going to be a sponge filter, the second one's going to be your hang on the back filter, and then third is going to be canister filter. I'm going to go over why I use those different ones and kind of what the reasons are. So right here you see a sponge filter. So this basically uses the air pump, pumps air down into the sponge with the air line. As the water comes out of the top, it actually sucks water through the bottom sponge part to help filter the water. These are great for fish rooms if you're not looking to do a hang on the back filter for everything. If you're looking to keep your electricity rates a little bit lower and you have multiple tanks. The only downfall to these is they can get kind of grungy, built up with stuff, but as long as you take them out and rinse them, what I do is weekly to every 2 weeks sometimes, I take them out, squeeze them under some water, pop them back together, put them back in, you're good to go. Next is going to be a hang on the back filter. So a lot of times when you buy an aquarium kit or something from a store or anything like that, you will get a hang on the back filter. So this uses the intake to pull water through the tube, goes up through this tube, out the sides, and then is filtered by the cartridges that are in there. A lot of times they have different additives to them. The most common one you'll see is going to be carbon, and with this marine land filter it uses the bio wheels to supposedly put beneficial bacteria onto that, but there's a lot of things out there, whether that's true or not. So it's just the one I had laying around in my basement, and it pumps out a lot of water. It's pretty quiet as long as the water level is higher. If the water level is lower, you're going to have the water trickling and kind of water falling into the tank, which can be a little noisy. But like I said, if you have one tank set up, you have a little community tank, even a cichlid tank, whatever, a lot of times you're going to be using a hang on the back filter. And once we have it all back together, like I said, it's nice, it's compact, it's sleek looking, you really don't notice it. It's just like it's part of the aquarium. And next is the canister filter. So the canister filters can be a little minimal, just like the hang on the back filters are as well. They're kind of nice because they have just an intake and an output. And a lot of times you can really tuck these in or hide them amongst things, which is kind of nice. And down here on the bottom, so the canister filters work best if you have a enclosed cabinet. That way it hides it. But the tubes go down into it, and what they do is it pushes all the way down to the bottom and kind of works its way back up through the different layers of media, whether it's ceramic, carbon, filter floss. There's lots of different things people do in there. Some people even put gravel in there to kind of for the beneficial bacteria. But the canister filters are going to run you a little bit. So the cheapest option is going to be your sponge filters, and those are going to run you probably about $10 for the sponge filter itself, maybe $15 for the pump, so probably about $25 to $30. When it comes to hang on the back filters, they can be a little bit more pricier, and I always recommend you do bigger than what you need. So if you have a 20 gallon, get a 30 gallon or even a 40 gallon hang on the back filter. I really don't think there can be too much filtration, so the only thing you want to keep an eye on is just too much water movement. So you don't want to get like a 10 gallon aquarium and get a 80 gallon hang on the back filter. So you'd be fine with a 20 gallon. So the hang on the back filters can run you anywhere from $30 to like $100 is probably the most expensive I've seen. Maybe, yeah, $99 to $109. But when it goes to the canister filters, those are usually something that you invest in because you've had the time to experiment with the different filters and you just want to try the canister filters. So those can range anywhere from $100 to $700. This one right here I got on sale, I think it was like $200, the Marineland 360 ages ago, but they do last a while. The only thing that can be intimidating is if they leak. Some people do have problems, but as long as you keep the gaskets looking good and whole and they're not deteriorating, then you shouldn't have a problem. The problem is when you don't do the maintenance on these filters. It's just like anything else. If you don't do the maintenance, it's going to break down, there's going to be issues, and that's when you have a problem. The biggest thing I would say for the canister filters, if you're going to do one, is put it in one of these trays. That way if the water starts to leak, it gives you some bit of a leeway. It's not going to stop the whole tank, but it will maybe hopefully catch enough so that way you notice. And those trays you can find in the concrete area. I think they're just like a concrete mixing tray. You can find them at Home Depot, Lowe's, anything like that. Or you even could put it in a tow or whatever. Just make sure it's a sturdy tow. You don't want 20 gallons of water for some rare reason filling that up and then just snapping the tow. So you don't want that either. So those, like I said, they don't hold a lot, but it should hold enough to the point where I'm noticing there's an issue. And it won't get onto the aquarium stand and rot it, even with a slow leak. Because sometimes it's just a drip. And that's all it takes to ruin a lot of things, whether it's your floor or the aquarium stand, and just create a lot of issues. So what I recommend doing, if you buy the aquarium kit, you're new into the hobby, stick with the hang on the back filters. They're the easiest to use. And one trick I'll give you is take those cartridges out every so often and just rinse them. Sometimes you'll need to change them out if the carbon becomes deactivated or whatever people say it does, or it becomes not as efficient, or if it's so gunked up you can't rinse it and it's just nasty, then just throw it away and start a fresh one. So when it comes to if you're setting up like a fish room or you have more aquariums kind of closely related to each other, or you can even just add a sponge filter in as a secondary filter, you can just pop one of those in as well. If you want to go in this hobby for the long haul and you're just looking to set up a tank or two, definitely go canister. It'll be well worth it. It's worth the money. Honestly, there's some times where I haven't changed that cartridge or anything like that in the canister. I've even opened it for 6-7 months. Perfectly fine. Not an issue. I don't have to worry about overflowing. I just check all the gaskets when I do open it, empty everything out, rinse it real well, snap it back together, and literally just hit the prime button once and it flows again. So, like I said, if you want to spend the money, go canister. It's worth it. But like I said, if you want the easier road, like I'm doing a little bit, just do your sponge filters. Much easier. So, thank you guys for watching. Please put down below, what do you use for filtration in your aquarium? I know there's a lot of ones out there, but like I said, I just kind of wanted to go on the 3 main popular ones. So post it down below. And if you have a filter on your aquarium, hit the like button. Thanks for watching.